Good morning. I'm Frank Buckley. Some breaking news this morning from Washington. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi just making a big announcement about her future in Congress. Those details just ahead.
I'm Eric Spillman in Diamond Bar. What we're learning about the wrong-way driver who plowed into those law enforcement recruits in South Whittier. The latest on the investigation coming up.
Good morning. I'm Jessica Holmes. Regulators have cleared a path for the largest dam demolition in history, happening right here in California. We'll tell you about it.
Good morning. I'm Sam Rubin. New here at 10 o'clock. We've lost the last of the original Hogan's Heroes. Special memory coming up from that very popular show. Plus, my gosh, a movie trailer invoking a lot of emotions. It seems like Inside Out, but not quite. The latest from Pixar on the way.
The LA Auto Show is back. There's lots to see, lots of new items, including some of the luxury vehicles. Porsche is making a show. Details when we come back.
Ten o'clock, and it's hard to believe Thanksgiving exactly 1 week away. Incredible. Beautiful weather, too, for us, and it doesn't look like it's going to rain on Thanksgiving. It might start raining a little bit for the beginning of next week, but by Thursday, we should be in good shape. Wednesday, travel day, might be a little bit on the rough side. Today's forecast, 73 coastal, beautiful temperatures downtown in San Fernando Valley at 77 degrees. And then after that, we can expect to see a little bit of a cool down for Friday. That's it. Frank, back to you.
And we begin with this breaking news. In an address to the U.S. House of Representatives just moments ago, Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she will not seek a leadership role in the new session of Congress. However, she does plan to continue representing her Bay Area district. Pelosi has led House Democrats for 2 decades and was the first woman to ever be Speaker of the House, held that role for 2 terms. Last month, a man was arrested and charged after authorities say he broke into Pelosi's San Francisco home and brutally beat her husband, Paul Pelosi, and told officers he was waiting for her. David DePape, who pleaded not guilty to several federal and state charges. Prosecutors say DePape was targeting the speaker following the events of the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol and unfounded claims about the 2020 presidential election by supporters of former President Trump. California Representative Kevin McCarthy will likely be the next Speaker of the House now that Republicans have control of it. It's unclear who will be House Minority Leader.
Sky 5 was overhead this morning as Torrance police investigated a suspected burglary at the Del Amo Fashion Center. According to police, they responded to a call just after 2 a.m. about a possible burglary occurring at one of the businesses at the mall. Officers were seen searching the area around Nordstrom at about 6:30 a.m. Due to police activity, roads around the mall were temporarily closed. Police have not yet confirmed if a suspect is in custody.
Number of law enforcement recruits are recovering after they were run over by a wrong-way driver in Whittier yesterday. Meantime, we're learning more about that driver. KTLA's Eric Spillman live in Diamond Bar with more for us. Eric, good morning.
Good morning, Frank. What we know about the driver is that he's 22 years old. He grew up here in this neighborhood in Diamond Bar, went to high school here, is a triplet, comes from a family where the father is retired law enforcement. That's what neighbors tell us. But what we don't know is why he swerved his SUV into a platoon of recruits and sent so many of them to the hospital. We do have some surveillance video we want to show you, which shows the seconds before the crash happened. And you can see the SUV veering onto the other side of the road, going the wrong way, and then plowing into the group of recruits. As many as 75 of them were on their morning run near their training academy in South Whittier. They were jogging in formation when the driver crashed into the group of them. 25 recruits were hurt, 5 of them critically. Authorities have not released the name of the driver. He has not been booked for any crime. Reportedly, he was on his way to work and traveling at between 30 and 40 miles an hour. He was not drunk. The sheriff says a breathalyzer test taken at the scene showed no sign of alcohol. He was also given a field sobriety test as well, which he passed. But the LA Times reports, citing its sources, that the driver told officers on the scene that he was sleepy and also that marijuana was found in his SUV. Investigators are working to find out if he was under the influence of any kind of controlled substance, and reportedly they served a search warrant at his home here last night. After the impact, some of the recruits tried to get the driver out of the SUV. They say when the vehicle finally crashed into a light pole, the man's foot was still on the gas pedal. The recruits who are hurt are now recovering at several different hospitals. Some of their injuries are life-altering. They include head trauma, broken bones, and even the loss of limbs. One of them is on a ventilator. But it could have been worse.